Okay, man, it's like fucking stupid here. I don't know. I'm posting videos. This is my current studio, what I'm working on right now. I'm doing all these dancers, and parties, and stuff. But I'm getting on here for the main reason because this little auction is coming up. That basically has got my interest aroused a little bit. If I had to explain what happened, something that started in roughly, 2000, summer of 2003, probably has just expired to this month probably. And I don't give a shit. That's the fucking stupid thing. But also, that's how me and Red's careers sort of was formulated and started. And the only way I can explain it is this GD auction slot and catalogs, which are something that's like porn crack to wannabe folk artists. Because they see this stuff. It's something people don't know about. It's just, it's very few in the art community really even know what the hell this is, But the reality is that a dealer from Florida bought a bunch of my stuff and bought a bunch of Red's parody folk duel stuff and thrown it to the slot and auction catalog. And so they're all up there, all through via live auctioneer. You're looking at the postings right here. Dirt as cheap too. Well, that's basically kind of, if she gets what she's asking, that's what she paid for. But the folk duel bullshit between me and Red, that's pretty much kaput over. It actually was over about 8 years ago. Red just can't quit it because he doesn't know where else to go take it anymore. Maybe that's what they say insanity is about is doing the same thing with the same results but expecting something different. And had the method of insanity, Red. I mean, eBay is fucking dead in the water. It's totally been proven. And even Slaughton, so all this stuff popping up in Slaughton catalog, I think is, back in 2003, I would have been high honored. Because I would have been like, oh my God, I've been recognized as an outsider folk artist. That would have been really high. For me, that would have been validation beyond belief. I would love that crap. And it's made me really ponder exactly what the fuck I've been doing for the last 15 years, art-wise. I mean, all the shenanigans and whatnot. Red's buyers and my buyers are different. I've noticed this over the years. His buyers, he's got a lot of dealer types. People they treat the folk art like baseball cards. And they're trying to buy low and sell high. Or they buy to a point and then they have no problem with just flipping it off. But the one thing about that is that they also know where to get rid of the things, which is still hits the secondary, third day market, to get bid up and changed around, which I think is actually more valuable in some degree than the contemporary side, because you get people buy stuff on the contemporary side and they hold on to it. And then eventually it ends in an estate sale somewhere and people look at it, they paid $3,000 for a painting and then someone sees the thing and they don't know how to sell it. They don't know where the secondary market is in the contemporary realm. Unless you're blue chips, there's a whole glut and gulf of, contemporary paintings just laying around people's houses, and it's been fermenting for, goddamn, like 50 years probably. I don't think you get this. I have tons of folk duel stuff, boxes of them. Every time I get drunk, I come up with some idiotic idea riff, like this one here, this one with a toll drinker. That's actually based off of Red Mud's pictures. A couple of his I take his compositions all the time. I just sold one of a rattlesnake guy. That's a Red Mud piece, it's that little kind of cartoony. I know when I see it in composition wise. And that's where if anything, I would tell some of my art friends, I said, you can spot people's compositions. That's really where the nature, because you'll repeat certain compositions over and over and over.
Nick, it's that time again.
Another thing, I put out another book. And this one's actually more organized than any of the other past ones I've done. Because it really is kind of a set of work, and I'm trying to take the best of the best and kind of collecting without turning it completely into a journal or whatever, But I'm actually kind of proud. I put one of my article in there. It's just sort of a collection of all the pieces, but I've already made about 40 of them, and ain't cheap. But people have been buying them. I've been sending them out to some certain collector galleries, trying to pitch bigger shows. All this stuff's already been sold practically. But it's just kind of the idea where you're going with where your direction is. And I'm already working on the book number 2. That's what those dancers are going to be. There's a whole new section of this kind of stuff, you know. I guess I got to kind of get out of the. But it's more figurative. Basically, it's going to be more figurative and kind of a neo-regionalist mentality, which I like a lot, you know. I can ground myself in there and that kind of stuff. Speaking of other books here, check this out. Red Mud, Harry Underwood, Dolan Geeman, and me. We had a show back in the day. Oh, God, when was that? 2000. That was 2007. Up in Chicago. It was one time I went up to Chicago. Red had a page in here. I guess I didn't take a photograph of it. This is like from old photos I found. But one day we're all united up into some place. And that was an interesting show. Oh, and another thing, which is totally tragic in my opinion. So Tim, or my neighbor over there, I shot a video on him with the papercrete. It's on this channel here. But I guess about a month ago, his entire freaking place burned to the damn ground, you know, and it was complete chat video and stuff. I'm kind of limiting all the stuff about it, but it was like, it's kind of altering the whole design of the whole complex now. Because I liked his building a lot. I thought his building was cool. It was a big railroad type mansion, you know, but it just, I mean, he lost 95% of everything he owned practically. And there's even a GoFunder for him too, if anybody's interested in message me and I'll tell you about it. But, you know, that was bad. But, you know, the thing is, I was telling somebody about this, you know, I ended up getting security cameras because I thought my antique hammer had been stolen. And a friend of mine just put them in there, and I realized that the frequency of theft is 0, frequency of fire is 3 at this point on the property. So maybe I should get a water sprinkler system put in or something. That old nasty, filthy red mud. The only thing is that even with YouTube here, I mean, I can see a kind of an expiration of. I need to get maybe a year or two from now. I'm predicting I'll probably, after I pull out of the Marfa deal, I'll probably be more apt to find more interesting places to go shoot at. A story's written, but ain't written in fucking Marfa. That's at least my view of it. I always like these kind of like being out in the outskirts or doing shit like that, being a despot. But yeah, I like this one. See, Red my Jody Arias Gamecock painter right there. And, but I don't know. I'm still in a contemplative mode about what to do on video-wise. It's just kind of like, after you see the view counters here, you kind of realize all the games that the tube's playing against you. You know, ain't like it was in the back good old days, you know. So I just see it as archive thing. Hopefully the channel gets taken down, I'll have to restart a whole new psycho mentality to what I'm doing. Some way or another, I don't know how that's going to happen, but... Sympathy for the masochists when they're used and abused. There's more shenanigans related to Redmond and stuff. He actually posted, there was another dealer flipped some of his stuff to Live Auctioneer, and I've made a combination drawing of the thing. I kind of get into it and I'll start doing it. And then something bad's happening over the Red's place, and I just don't even feel like going down a satire anymore about doing this kind of stuff. But you can see kind of like how some of the stuff I've directly we're both ripping each other off on composition and pictures constantly. He'll do stuff of mine, I'll do some of his, you know. But it's just got one angle, it's just got one audience for it. Trying to explain this to people. Oh yeah, the Marfa deal. As soon as I'm out of the Marfa deal, I'll fucking be blabbing about it afterwards. But see, here's one that's kind of worthless. Put that up there. Actually sold for $2. But it just seems like this point, we seem like two idiots in a insane asylum rubbing shit on each other constantly, thinking that people think it's funny. Maybe that's the freaking insanity of the whole stupid thing. People think this is funny. They're laughing probably at us, not with us. But then again, if you're cosplaying Mac as being an insufferable person, you know, where does it all come to be, you know? The only highlight of the whole event, I made a painting of when I sit up and watch a Hatchie. I put this up there. The damn thing went to frickin' almost $500. And that's what happens when you, and that ain't eBay, Red Mud. That's not eBay people. Those are two collector types that I know. Red made a painting of that, me passed out over in Waxahachie at the time. But see, I said, eBay, there's no more art crowd in there much anymore. And so you have to drive people there. That's what I keep telling them. But what's the point when you have your own site? Why let eBay take a cut? Make it easier to sell because of the convenience of just pushing, buy now or whatever. But to me, it's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm already done with it. I was mentioning it too. I'm glad I got set up in West Texas. That's for sure. Because stuff like all these little series here, these things all sold, But it's just, if you just keep making this stuff, and people, as long as you have a good, healthy backstock and you don't destroy it, you can be ready and prepared for an event that comes up. It's like you're building little soldiers marching off into battle somewhere. I sold the outhouse for some reason. The flaming outhouse stuff didn't go. I mean, I sold a bunch of them, but it's like I kind of ran out of energy on it. I guess in recap, I did do a pretty good painting of Mary here. Her like opening a jar of pickles and stuff, and I sort of kind of missed Mary, but the side of me that just said, you didn't realize this lady was, I was scared to death of her in some degree. She was a nice lady, but boy, I could go on about hours at that. I did one of, what was that, Paris, Texas, Travis. Got that in a hotel. I think is the most viral painting I've ever done on Instagram. This is going like absolutely bonkers for a while, and it still gets revisited from time to time. Like, that's me being predatorial a little bit, or like trying to find these little weird cultural scenarios and making works on them and stuff, That's what I tell Red he should do. I said, I shouldn't be the topic of his discussions much. He should just be focusing on blues themes and guitars and expensive pottery and stuff that, Remember the word keyword spamming? We used to do that crap.
Take that shirt off now.
Yes, ma'am. Big old wardrobe.
I'm telling you that whenever the Marfa crap's over, there's a lot of emotional summaries I've made about stuff, And one of the things one little comment I've made is I realized I've crafted myself as a niche painter in the Big Bend, specializing in these subjects that people really don't know or don't give a crap about, which I kind of enjoy that. But Marfa is definitely something, like I say, for me personally, it should be more cowbell.